Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And do we have a show for you? Are you ready to start discussing, debating, and exploring a little bit more deeper into van life with no limitations? Well, you're in the right place, and welcome to the Chatterbox. So go ahead, chat amongst yourself, and get ready to ask some questions of our guest, which I'm sure you're truly going to enjoy. And also, as usual, from the producers here at Let's Talk About It Live, we challenge you to rise by lifting others and spreading kindness. I'm Theresa with Be RVing, and to my left is...
I'm BB with Beyond Beauty 3, and...
I'm Nette from MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless.
And today we welcome Miss Box Van Dee. She's a beautiful, inspiring woman sharing her nomadic life with us. And we lost her for a second. Oh, I think she's back. One moment, please. Let me do some welcomes over here in the chat. Oh, she's back. And we welcome Box Van Dee.
Oh, yeah, always exciting to know who's down there in the chat.
Hello, hello.
I'm lagging really bad here.
That's okay.
That's okay. You can always come back if you have to. We'll hang out and wait.
Yes.
Okay, I'm lagging. Sorry, baby.
You're fine.
Thought it would be okay. I can't see Nette or Theresa, so.
Can you still hear them?
I can't hear anything. No, just you.
Can you hear us?
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
Do you want to try to drop completely out and then come back in and refresh?
Yeah, let me try to refresh. You want to take me down? Okay.
There we go. And while we're waiting, let me welcome some people into the chat here. We've got Lynn the Okie. We've got Ardez Carlife. Hold on one moment, please. There we go. We've got Ardez Carlife, Van Life with Gina Payne. We've got Brianna Elizabeth, RV Weekends, Nursing Our Travel Bug. Bob's Adventure. Camping Therapy, Will Nelly RV Adventures, K&R Destinations, Nomadic Rat Pack, Uncle Lisa's Productions, Roy and Becky's Travels, Happy Place Camping, Burning Up the Roads, Nomadic Hippie, Cindy Wheeler, and I think I have everybody. Van Life Rocks, sorry. All right, and let's see if we can get Dee back up here real quick. Here we go. Hello.
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 All right.
How is everybody?
We're doing good. We got some questions for you.
Okay.
So which of you ladies would like to start asking Miss Dee questions?
Let's hope I can answer them.
Well, I have a quick one real quick, then I can start off. First, welcome, Dee. So we're glad to have you here with us. And I just have a question, actually, as far as your current van that you're in, your box van. Is that something that you put together yourself, or did you have help with the design inside and putting everything together, or did you purchase it like that already?
Well, I bought it off of Craigslist, I believe, about a year and a half ago, and it was bare bones inside. The box was empty, just metal, the rails and a little wood floor, metal ceiling. So I had to take all that out. I did the build myself. I had a little bit of help with the framing, and I had somebody put the solar panels on. So, but all the rest of the work, pretty much I did myself. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Dee. It looks like, according to my notes, you hit the road in 2017. Is that correct? In your Pontiac Grand Am?
Actually, I hit the road in November of 2016, and I went
okay.
to my first RGR in January of 2017, 3 months later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. And then from there, that's when you ended up going into your interstate cargo trailer. Probably, was it like a year after
Like
that?
the fall, that summer, I believe I got really sick. And during that time, I had to get into some kind of shelter. I could, because I was so sick, I couldn't deal with the elements. So that's when I bought the cargo trailer. I bought it from a place in Fresno, California, on payments. It was wonderful. No down payment, $100 a month. So it was fantastic. And I just gradually, while I lived in it, did the build myself. And on that, I did. Yeah.
You did a wonderful job on that build.
Thank you. Yeah, on that one, I didn't have help. I did have to do the entire build by myself. And, I did it.
With that build, what would you say are your absolute essentials that you need for life on the road?
Absolute essentials. You have to have a good bed. I don't care what anybody says. If you can't sleep good, you can't live on the road.
Yeah.
So even if you had to set up a structure outside of a car, say, at least you can sleep better. You stretch out. I know some people that actually, I don't know if you've ever heard of Serene and Simple. She literally lives in her car, but she sleeps in the driver's seat. I couldn't do that. I would have no circulation in my legs. Okay. So, yeah, I think the bed is the most essential part of it. I think the second thing is a way to cook. You have to have a way to cook. If you had to set up a table outside, okay. In bad weather, you have to have a way to cover your cooking area somehow so you can get away from the elements. So I think cooking and sleeping is probably the very most important thing. And as a YouTuber, of course, when I started, I wasn't a YouTuber.
Yeah.
You have to have a way to charge your appliances, okay? So inverters work really good in a cigarette plug. A lot of people can do that. So power, some kind of power and some kind of lights. And you have to, like in the car, you have to figure out a way to have everything you need in there. So think about how much space you have to have just to have the necessity. 3 changes of clothes for cold, 3 changes of clothes for hot weather. Your cooking and all your cooking utensils in really you can survive in a small skillet, a little pot, okay, for cooking. You can't do that. So I would say that's important, but the most important thing for that is you have to have a place to put your water, because you cannot live without water. I don't know if that's answering your question, but I think those
perfect.
No, I think that is perfect. Definitely.
And do you still have your Camp Chef oven?
I do. I love it. I didn't have it for so long. I got it last year sometime. And I tell you what, it was $200 on Amazon. I survived fine with it, just 2 burners. There is a way to bake on top of a stove. You just have to learn how to stack pots basically inside each other and have space on the bottom so the air can get around everything. So I did that for a very long time. But boy, once I got my oven, I can bake a cake. I can make cookies, brownies.
Yeah.
I love to be able to share those kinds of things with people. So I can't do it a lot. But in this heat, I don't bake. But in cooler weather, I do. So this past year, one thing I added to my necessary things, you have to have a way to stay out of the rain, the wind, and the heat
Yes.
when you're outside. So I bought a gazebo. I didn't buy a clam, but I did buy a gazelle, which is almost the same thing. And it was cheap, $100. So, you know, yeah, it's a 5-sided, a little too big for one person setting it up, but I can do it. So I do think you have to have a way to stay protected when you're outside. So yeah, the gazelle, I would say, because in the winds, a clam or a gazelle will hold up. Easy up or just a basic screen tint will not hold up in the winds. Believe me.
Good to know.
Yeah. So yeah, a clam.
Yeah, yeah. And then your Chevy Express 1-ton turbo diesel. That's what you're in now. That is a nice box van that you found.
It is. I've had to do some repairs. I mean, my whole front end had to be redone. All the electrical was messed up. I had a friend over in Havasu. He works on vehicles, and he did fix all my electrical. Still not perfect, but compared to what it was, he fixed all that. And really, he charged me almost, I shouldn't say nothing, but very, very reasonable. He helps people. He's not really, he's trying to make a living, but with me, I guess he looks at me like a grandma or something. I don't know. And he pretty much lets me pay him whatever I can afford. But you're very blessed if you have a good mechanic. So that's another important thing is if you break down, know who you can call to get a little help with your repairs. Because you go into a shop, I don't know if you guys have ever broken down on the road. They're going to take you for everything you got, especially as a single woman, so you have to have somebody to call for repairs, even if you have, so that's one thing.
The happy camper said, "Hi Dee, I've been watching on TV. You're giving great advice on what is needed out there."
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So what is making friendships life like for a person who's living the nomadic lifestyle?
When I lived in a city, I lived in Modesto, California for 13 years. I basically knew 2 or 3 of my neighbors. Right next door is in a mobile home park, okay? In a senior citizen park. I got on the road and I started meeting people. People are so friendly on the road. Of course, there's some that you want to avoid, okay? But for the most part, I have not had a problem making friends on the road, especially once I got on the road. I had to be stationary with my health problems. But I have made more friends through camping, living on the road, and through YouTube that I ever had in my life, ever, altogether, ever. And close friendships. You make connections, and like Mike and MJ, I met them over a year ago. They've become very, very, very deep friends. Blue Wave Aussie, I haven't even met him yet. Or Rick from Nomadic Hippie. I haven't even met them yet. But I feel so close to them. And you're going to find that anybody that's getting out on the road, you can make really good lifelong friendships. I truly believe that. I think it's so much better than living in a town for friendships, community. I know I ramble. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, we love it. No worries.
You're giving great advice and great things. Everybody's loving it over here.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. So, definitely.
Now, Dee, I saw one of your videos where you were talking about that you were in a wheelchair and you were able to learn how to walk again. And that
Yes.
was truly amazing. How were you able to do that?
You know, it came down to want, desire. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I had no motivation when I was in a wheelchair. I had no life, and I was it was either die, get it over with, or get busy and do something about it. So I got up. I was able to stand. I was able to walk a few feet. But what I did is started walking inside the house. I walked a few feet and then a few more feet. I made sure there's always something to grab onto. I
Yeah.
don't. If I told this story before, let me know. But what happened is went to a dance club. I couldn't dance, of course. I could barely stand.
Yeah.
And my friend I should say, the one neighbor I was connected to, talked me into go with her just to listen to music, find some pleasure in life, okay? And I started to go, and men would come up and ask me to dance. I said, I can't dance. I can't even stand up. And I have a couple guys would come up and say, don't worry about it. You can stand on my feet and I'll hold you.
Oh,
I mean, literally, when I got out on the dance floor, that's pretty much what happened. They
yeah.
promised I wouldn't fall. I said, only way I'll ever do it is you promise if I say I need to sit down right now, you can meet my chair immediately. I started doing that. I walked a little bit more every day, whatever I can do, and then started dancing. I was after a couple of weeks of doing that, I was able to get through a couple of minutes of the dance and then a full dance. And pretty soon I was dancing 3 times a week. I got up out of that wheelchair. I got my real estate license.
Yeah.
I did a ton of stuff once I got out of the wheelchair. I'm at the point because I get so weak and so winded when I walk. I might have to get an electric scooter, or I'm not sure. I'm gonna try not to, but
Yeah.
I'm at the point I think I'm gonna have to do that. I don't want to, but because I want to be able to get around. Okay, I don't want to be sitting in my truck or outside the truck 24/7. Never be able to go for walks and stuff. I can go for a walk right now. I know I have to get out more. I believe the key is making yourself do it and don't give up and do a little bit of time. Pace yourself, I think. Pace yourself. And don't say you can't do
Right.
it. You can. If you have to lean on somebody, lean on them. Whatever it takes.
And with that said, you're actually doing a lot of your own build.
What is it? Rayleigh Creative Travel says I would dance with Dee if she wanted. Thank you. Yeah, that's cool.
You have a lot of messages that have come through. Just a couple of them that I want to read to you real quick. Dee, you're an inspiration, a beacon of positivity, and we can't wait to meet you out on the road. Love you, lady. That's from K&R Destination.
Oh, I love those guys. They're so positive. Very.
And then Van Life.
I watched their stream today. They were bubbly and happy and they pull out. I believe this, people. Listen, if you're negative, what you're going to draw around you is negative people, period.
Yeah.
Misery loves company.
Yep.
Mhm.
If you're positive, what I have around me, positive people.
Yeah.
I worked hard at being positive. I still have to work at it sometimes, but people want to be around positive people that have a good attitude. Nobody wants to hear your all the time your negative, sad, sob stories. Okay, yes, I hear my story, but I don't dwell on it. Don't dwell on it. Nobody wants to hear 15 medications you're taking. Nobody wants to hear about that all the time. You have to share good stuff. There's more to life than your health
Yeah.
problems and your medications and then your past, because life is about now, where
Yeah.
we are today. Okay, that's see, there I go rambling again.
Oh,
Okay.
you're fine.
That'll-
Van Life Regina Payne said, Box Van Dee, you've inspired me. My weakest moments, in my weakest moments, way before we have met on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I have to agree with her, and a lot with what you were just saying. Me and you have talked on the phone a little
Yes.
bit. And one of the things I struggled with was sharing anything personal. I was like, I can't share anything personal, but you inspired me to do that because it can help others, but still do it in the way that I'm not doing my
Right.
side story. And I love you for inspiring me to do that, because that I found strength in the community in that from you. So I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah.
And you really, when you're going through something, it's hard to share. It's very hard to share personal stuff. But what I found is if you at least share a little bit of it, you can draw strength from that community. That's where I drew strength. I got it from the YouTube community. How I keep being positive, how I keep feeling my life is worthwhile. All the support you get from these people that are watching us today. These people are here for a reason. They want to support us, and we want to support them. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's hard to share, Beep. I'm so glad you did, because people wanted to know. You're right. You didn't go into ooey gooey details, yet you were open enough to share the sad parts of it, but still give us something positive while you were sharing it. We know that there's hope. We know there's medications that can help you. We know that's in your life is not over, right? And I mean, I talk to so many people that have so many problems. I get 3 and 4 page letters, emails from people telling me their story. And what can we do? We can just listen, hear their story, and be there. That's all we can do. Just be there.
And I think
And I love you, Phoebe.
We have 2 quick comments that I want to get to, and then I'm going to hand this back over to the girls. That's a testimony, Dee. This is from KNR. Keep preaching, lady. And then we have a question from Linda Barker that said, Dee, did you have a side door in your cargo trailer or windows?
Yes. I had a side door and back doors. Yes. And it came with it.
so, Dee,
But it wasn't very dull.
I think kind of one of my next questions would be, you actually did a video that had to do with overcoming depression and hopelessness.
Yes.
Is there any
Yes.
advice other than that the advice you have already given that you would give someone who is in this lifestyle and probably suffering with depression or hopelessness? What works? What kind,
Get out of yourself.
There you go.
Get out of yourself. Look outside of yourself. If you always thinking about what you're going through, if you're always allowing yourself to dwell on it, you can't get past it.
Yes.
For depression, no, it's true. You can't just wish it away. You can't.
Right.
You're still going to go through times. I have PTSD. I've been struggling with that since I was a child. But you know what? I don't have the anxiety attacks. I don't have the heart palpitations. I don't have the passing out feelings. I don't have the desperation, the feelings that I had before. Why? I got outside of myself and started thinking about what's around you. Start thinking about others. There's always somebody that's worse off than you. I mean, truthfully, if I had a broken back, somebody doesn't have legs. Somebody doesn't have hands. I think about somebody. I still have my eyes, okay? It scares me. Yes, I worry about losing my eyesight because it's not great. But I know can I share a little short story about something that happened
Please.
yesterday?
Please
Yeah.
do.
Okay. I went to the Grand Canyon with Scott and Becky. Okay. And Scott has a very dear friend who is known for 30 years. She's completely blind. And he was on the phone with her. And he handed me the phone. She wanted to say hello to me. And I tried so hard. I wanted so much to be able to describe the beauty that was out there, what I could see. I tried to explain to her. I know I did a very poor job, but she was in tears. She was so grateful that somebody cared enough to try to describe what they saw. So what I'm saying is there's always somebody out there that's in so much worse shape than we are. And people are dying. Let's face it, okay? I'm still alive. I can still enjoy life. So get out of yourself, people. Quit thinking all the time about yourself. Start thinking about somebody else. How you get out of depression, that's the best way. Of course, I had my faith. So I do believe in God. I have my faith. God brought me to this community, really. And he knew what I needed.
You placed it there.
Yep. And with that said, Dee, in 2019, you had a stroke. Is that correct?
Yes. I had everything happen in 2018, I believe. I had a stroke. I lost my service animal to a coyote. I had a broken back. I had a broken wrist and 4 eye surgeries all in the same year. All of it. So it was hard. It was hard.
That was such a your beautiful dog, Dolly. Is that correct?
Yes, she was such a good dog. I wish somebody would have a puppy that could give me a little tiny dog that I could have. I could never replace Dolly, but I do miss my companion. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was going to be one of my next two, is asking about with pets if you had any plans on any pets in the future. But I think if we found that dog like that, you would definitely.
Well, and I thought about, Gina has all her cats. She does fine. And I've seen a lot of people that do well with cats. I thought, how I don't have room for a litter box in my truck, okay? I couldn't walk on the gravel all the time, and I wouldn't want to have to haul a lot of cat litter because you have to for that. But I did think about, I could get like her Nette, don't know what she calls it, but your little tunnel and netting. I thought maybe I could do something like that to have a cat because I like cats too.
And those are nice.
Yeah.
Nomadic Hippie said he has a cat for you, Dee. No, you don't, Nomadic Hippie. You can't give away the cat.
I wouldn't take cat from Hippie. No way. But if cat decided to have a baby, I would call it Baby Cat.
There you go. Work on that, Nomadic Hippie.
That is part of his show.
Of course, if she got pregnant, she would have more than one, and you would have to find a lot of homes.
Tommy Travel said, Box Van Dee, be careful what you say in this group. You'll wind up with a truck full of puppies.
I tell you what, that is absolutely true because you be careful of what you mention on YouTube. What happened? I just said it would be so cool to fly a drone, right? What happened?
Yeah.
Be careful what you ask for.
So Linda Barker said, Dee, is Arizona your official state of residence?
It is. The very first year I moved here on my journey, I took up residency here. I want to travel more, but this is my home base, I guess you would call it, because I can't do the cold. So I like the desert
Mhm.
and I like the warmth. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Timmy Ray said, Van Dee, you got 18 people watching you on my Uncle Claude's 55-inch TV.
Wow. Wow. That's
That's
cool,
a
Jimmy. Wow. That's
Thank
funny.
you. So,
Yeah.
Dee, what is the typical day for Dee? What is your typical day like?
Typical day. You know what is funny? The other morning, I people always ask me to do a video of my typical day. First of all, there's no such a thing as typical day for a nomad who lives in a truck, okay? But I do have a certain routine when I get ready to go somewhere. So I had Scott do the video, and only the problem is he didn't hold this phone sideways like this. So I hate the videos where you're cut off on the sides. I could put that up. I don't like it. So I need to do it again. So he followed me around with the camera and I showed everything like stupid, boring video, but showed how I bungeed everything and secured everything. So my typical day, okay. I usually wake up around, I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock. I stay in bed until it's warm enough to get out. Or if it's really cold, I'll put the heater on. Usually, I get on my, like all YouTubers do, the very first thing you do is go and see what's coming up for the day. Then I usually make my coffee and go out. If I'm camping with people, go out and have coffee and visit with friends for a little bit. Then whatever I have to do, I have to go to town, fill up water, dump trash, dump my bathrooms, liquids or whatever, have to do that. I'll usually have a quick bowl of cereal, hot cereal or cold cereal in the morning for breakfast. Or sometimes I feel like I'll make pancakes or French toast or something like that. I'm not a big breakfast eater. So I have to sometimes, one of my worst habits since I've been doing YouTube is I always get distracted and I forget to eat. I know I have to eat because I keep losing weight. I can't afford to lose any more weight. But I forget to eat. I just get too busy and would rather do other things. So I don't really have a typical day, but there's certain things I do every day. Every day I work on my YouTube. Every day I do a little bit of editing. I spend at least an hour or two going through comments, replying to the comments. I spend maybe 30 minutes a day cooking a meal, you know. I usually spend 20 minutes in the morning cleaning up, putting on clean clothes, combing my hair, washing, brushing my teeth, things like that. So the same things. I think really the nomads and RVers do everything that normal people do in houses. Only thing is you do it differently. We have to take a lot longer to do everything. So that's typical for, I think, anybody that lives on the road. It takes a lot longer to cook. It takes a lot longer to, do everything. So that's all. I just do everything everybody else does. I'm not special.
I've gotten a few questions in for you.
Okay.
Where is one place you would like to travel to that you haven't been?
Good question.
Even though it's still in Arizona, I really would love to go to Sedona. I haven't been there yet, and it's not that far from me. I'm going to go to Winslow, and I want to go through Oman. I think Oman is just like a little drive-through that I would, for Arizona stuff, I would like to travel outside of the state. I'm a little bit nervous because my truck is running good right now, but if I go out of state, I don't have a mechanic close by. So I get nervous about that. I don't want to break down out of state. But I really would like to do more traveling outside of Arizona. there's so many. I would love to go to more of the national parks. So that would be ideal for me. I wouldn't mind. I don't know. I'm kind of scared, but I think it would be fun to camp in Mexico. I'm not that far from the border every year in Quartzsite. It's only about an hour and a half drive. And I could go to Algodones, but I don't know if people actually camp there. I don't know. But I think that would be cool, but I wouldn't be nervous. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have two more real quick things. One, I just want to tell you, Jerry Holly said, I plan on dancing with Dee one day.
I tell you what, if we ever have a meetup, we're going to have music, and I'm going to dance with anybody that wants to dance. Women, men, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's going to be a party. We're going to have a meetup in Quartzsite for sure. I'm having to figure out the details, but I know a lot of people are planning on coming to Quartzsite this year in January. Or February.
January. So yeah.
I'm definitely going to do a meetup somewhere, and we're going to have a party. Absolutely.
2 more quick questions for you. One, what kind of dog puppy are you most interested in if you were to get one? And 2, would you consider switching to a new or different vehicle than the one you have now?
Okay, as far as an animal, I would really don't want a puppy because you have to really work at getting. They have so much energy. I don't think I can chase it, but I already tried that actually. So I need a small dog that doesn't get over, say, 10 pounds. I think I love the Chihuahua because I believe some people think Chihuahua was. I don't play well, but I know they do. I wouldn't mind having a Yorkie or any kind of a little dog, a little mutt. I don't want a purebred dog. They're too much maintenance and vet bills. I just want a mutt. Okay, that's all I want. A little mutt.
A little mutt.
And yeah, that's all I want. So, what was the other question, BB?
The other one was, would you ever consider getting a different vehicle than the one you have now?
Yes, I would. I would love to. I mean, not in the near future, I'm sure. Actually, I would love to be able to have a good vehicle with a trailer, not a truck, because then I could leave the trailer when I get somewhere and go in a vehicle. That's the biggest, hardest thing about living in the truck. I have to take my home everywhere just to go get a bottle of water, okay? So it's really hard. It's a lot of extra work. So yes, I would love to be able to have a little, say, 16 to 20 foot trailer. I could pull it with the truck actually, but I need to get eventually a 16 to 20 foot trailer that has a bathroom with a shower. Hello.
Yeah.
And a kitchen. I don't need much. You know, I'm pretty simple. Always have been. So I didn't need much, but eventually that I would switch to at least pulling a trailer, but I would love to do that. And it's not something I dream about every day. It's not something I can't live without. I'm content the way I am, but it would make life a lot easier if that answers the question. I wouldn't want a great big Class C or a Class A or Class B and all that stuff. No.
One of you ladies have a question? I'm all out.
Yeah. Now, Dee, you play the guitar and you wrote a beautiful song called Thank You, God.
Yes.
That was so inspiring.
I play at the guitar. I actually picked up my first guitar when I was about 18 years old. Never got good at it. I've gotten rid of 18, 20 guitars over my life. Never got good. So, but I always loved to sing when I could. Now I know I sound like an old cow.
No.
But, you know, it's not about that. The reason I did it, because I wanted to share the song I wrote, because I feel like I wanted to give glory to God who has made my life so fantastic. I never could have dreamed of having a life that I have now. Never in my life ever imagined being so happy, being surrounded by so many wonderful people. I don't mean to get emotional. I can't explain how I feel, but I feel so loved. I feel so surrounded by love. And I know it's God's love shining through these people that taken me in their arms and really love me. You know what it feels to have somebody love you. And that's what I feel. I have 5,000 people that love me. Maybe not all of them, but I have a lot of people that share their love with me. And I just can't say enough about that because, ramble.
No,
No.
no, because I know that you lost your way, and you were without faith for about 15 to 20 years, and
Yes,
then you heard him speak to you, and he told you
yes,
that he never left your side, and that
that's
was an
right.
amazing story when you realize
Yeah,
that, you're not alone. There's a reason
right.
and purpose for you. And you
That's
can
right.
see with this community, you have touched us, and we absolutely adore you. You're a true inspiration, and we appreciate you in our life.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking about you guys before this stream today. I am a little uncomfortable with all the attention I'm getting right now. Okay. I don't know how to deal with all that. I'm trying to cope with
Yeah.
it because I'm not used to it. I never had all that kind of attention. I'm trying, and I want everybody to know. I don't know how to do it. I want every subscriber to know that they're important to me, and I want people to go to other people that they can inspire. And I
Mhm.
want I want to share other channels to people. These people in here, the content creators and non-content creators, have given me so much. How can maybe you guys have answers? How can I give back? How can I give back to them?
And actually, Dee, I think that is something you have been doing because you've been constantly recently just talking about, counting your blessings. That is just something you've really been putting out there and
Mhm.
just paying it forward. I mean, and that's what we've been seeing from you, just not only just being an inspiration, but just by actually what you're doing and how you're living your life and,
Yeah.
through everything.
Teresa, I'm sorry. I want to say something. I just saw something in the stream, in the chat. Bob's Adventure, thank you, but please don't put that link in it again. This is not trying to get money from people. That's not what this stream is about. I don't need money, people. I'm really okay. I get quite a bit on my live streams, really, and I have a good income. I have my Social Security. I'm not here to get money. Please don't. I would. Forgive me. I don't mean to be rude. I think he's so thoughtful. He's
You
really thoughtful. But I would rather, please don't put that link in there again for anybody. Not today. One on my stream, one thing, okay? Not today, please. Forgive me. I'm sorry. I love Bob. I absolutely love him. He's thinking about me. He's trying to support me, and he's doing that. But I don't want that.
Well, throughout
Forgive
the stream, whenever we do a stream, we usually share out all links for the person that we're talking with. So your Teespring link's been shared out, and all your different links, just so people have them. They can connect any way they want to.
Okay.
So.
Well, okay, I appreciate that, but I wish I'd known that because I really don't want to do that to people. I love the support. I do. Thank you. But not on your stream. I don't want to do that. I would rather them send you to help your stream. You're building this wonderful channel, people. Listen to me. This is a great channel. What they're doing is bringing out people, sharing the people in this community with the world. And that's how we can support them. Support BB and Nette and Theresa with this stream. I assume you have a link somewhere that can support your channel, with this channel?
No, we're using this channel. We don't want it to support ours. Where we want this to be able to support and highlight other people and other YouTube creators and non-creators, just people out there. That's why we didn't do it on each of our channels, and we chose a whole separate channel, was so we could put it out there for everyone else. And while we
Did I sound ungrateful? Please don't think I'm.
no, you're
Oh, no. Not
I
at all.
don't. I just love you guys. I would rather see. Look, all the help that Nettie's done, BB, Theresa. I wish. Okay, here's. Okay, I got it. I know how to tell people. Go to BB3. Go to MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless. Go to Mint2 Be RVing and support their individual channels. And you moderators, please put their links in here in the chat so that people can go to their channel and support them. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
You are so sweet, Dee. And your question was, you asked a question, and it was, how do you give back to all the people that follow you, or how do you let them know that you know you?
Yes.
And throughout this whole stream, I've been reading comments of how you've changed people, you've inspired people, you've given people hope to keep going, or you've given, like Van Life with Gina Payne, you gave her the strength to go out there and do this on her own. So when you ask that question, you're already doing it just by being you and sharing it with all of us. You're honestly giving, I know you've given me so much strength, and you're giving it to all these people out here too. So I think you're already doing it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Wow. I just took over your whole stream. I didn't mean to, you know.
No, it's fine.
That's why we have you here, Dee, because it's let's talk about it live for Box Van Dee.
Yeah, I thought I was going to come up for a few minutes to just say my thing, and you're going to bring 10 more people. I said, whoa. I realized I've spent the whole stream.
You're not
thank you.
Girl,
I do want to say thank you for bringing. I do want to say thank you for having me up here. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad somebody would be. Sometimes I don't know what to say. I appreciate you asking me questions and bringing the questions from the audience to me. You know, I try to answer the questions when I can on my videos and stuff in my reply clips. Sometimes I don't have all the answers. Nobody does, but, you know. So I appreciate you asking me good questions, really good questions, I think. I was comfortable enough with them. I felt like I could answer them. So thank you. Yeah.
I got to ask a funny question. So what do you keep in your toilet?
Okay.
Toilet.
I have a composting toilet. I either use, actually lately for the last 6 months, I've been using coconut coir. Coconut coir is like, it comes in a brick, okay? And all you really have to do is get it moist, and then it'll break up. So soak it in a little bit of water, it breaks it up. What it does is it literally buries all smells, all odors. One thing I will tell anybody that's thinking about setting up a composting toilet, do not mix solids and the liquids together, because then you can't get rid of the smell. You keep the solids and liquids separate. For women, that's a little more difficult.
Yes.
I have a urine separator in my toilet, so when I have to do the wet stuff, it goes in the separator and then it goes into a jug, which doesn't cause it to get in the other stuff. I'm trying to be tactful here. Okay. So the wet stuff keeps separate from the heavy stuff. And then it's really easy to get rid of it. Okay, some people really get grossed out. You know darn well people put poopy diapers in trash. Okay?
Yeah.
So poopy trash and whatever kind of other messes that people have in the bathrooms. Okay? So the bottom line is with the compost, it doesn't smell, it's not messy, and you wrap it with 2 or 3 bags, tie it up really good. You can put it in the dumpster. You can bury the waste in the hole if you long as you dig the hole like close to a foot deep and make sure it's buried really well. Not paper. Don't mix the paper with it, so then it wouldn't hurt the environment. So that is a good question because everybody asked that. The very first questions people ask is, how do you go to the bathroom? You know, when you lived in your car, how do you go to the bathroom? How do you go to the bathroom in a van? Or, so yeah, it really is just a matter of, and I do use deodorizers in my compost, my box that I have around my compost toilet. So I put like Irish Spring soap. I cut it up at about 5 or 6 pieces of good bar of Irish Spring soap, or any kind of other air freshener put down in the box. So that makes it simple. Yes, it's easy. You put a little compost in the bottom. Then when you go, every time you go, put another good scoop of compost on top. Okay? It's fine for a few days sometimes. And if you start feeling it's too much, just get rid of it. Take care of it, you know?
And
So,
I like to ask that question because everybody does it different ways. And everybody wants to know too. I mean,
right.
a lot of people over here saying they want to know.
I also use peat moss. If you don't like the coconut core, peat moss works just fine. It's just garden moss, you know. I
Like
guess,
moss, yeah.
yeah, moss. Like, so that's all it is. And some people, I heard people, I don't think I would do it, but some people get those clumping cat litter or something like that.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I don't know. For the liquid waste, it might be good. I don't know. Anyhow, with the liquid waste, what I do, and you have to be careful. You know, some people get irritated with it, but when you're living out in the desert or in the mountains, there's places you can dump, not directly on the plant, but spread it out. Dilute it a little bit with water. Don't use chemicals, okay? You don't want to use stuff that hurts the environment. So spread it out, okay? Spread it out and don't put it in the same places every day, the liquid waste.
So we have about 10 minutes left, or well, a little less than 10 minutes. And did either one of you, Nette or Theresa, want to ask another question?
Well, I have one. I would say right now, how would you best describe your camping style? And based on the camping style that you have, is that your preferred camping style? Or living style, you know, like whether it's boondocking or, and I mean, I know what it is, but I just want to hear on yours. How do you describe it? And is that, you know, where you want to continue your, I think it's off-grid, you would call it?
Okay. Well, I've been doing this for 5 years. I have not yet stayed in a campground. Okay. I don't want to spend the money to go into a campground if it doesn't have any hookups. What's the point? So I do have solar. Some people don't. Without solar, sometimes you need hookups. Okay. But I do prefer boondocking. I stay usually on BLM land, which is public land. You have 14-day limits, but it's free. And there are usually no water, no electricity, no flat, solid level pads to park on. You have to figure out how to get level. And some places do have pit toilets, but not a lot of them. So I like boondocking. There are times once in a while when I think I would like to go into a campground and just stay for a few days to have electricity and little comfort, pleasures, But at the same time, I don't know if I would enjoy it more than I do now. I have to have total sun for my solar panels.
Correct.
So if you go into a campground, you're going to have a lot of trees. You may not be able to get full sun, So I don't know. So yeah, that would be my preferred, boondocking or off-grid.
In a last part to that I usually hear from people who usually live in the RV and stuff. Do you miss a bathtub?
Oh gosh, yes. I don't miss showers. I never loved showers. I love a bathtub. Every chance I get, if I go to visit my friend in Tucson, for instance, or something like that, the first thing I do is get my bubble bath.
There you go.
I lay in there and soak for good 30 minutes. I lap it up. I have to take bucket baths. I use 2 like dish pans. I fill one with warm water with antibacterial soap. I scrub down with that. Then I shake in another little pan with a little bit of fresh water, and I take a washcloth and wipe all the soapy whatever residue off. So I rinse that way. But yeah, sometimes I would love to have a real bathtub. God,
I'm sorry I brought it up to make you miss it too.
You know what? When Scott got here, the first thing he says is, Dee, if you want to take a bath in my shower, you can. And guess what I did the day I did on my birthday? I went over there and actually he has a little bathtub in there. So I actually took a nice warm, not hot, but warm. I love hot, but I was happy with warm. And I took a nice warm bath in his bathtub. And it was such a pleasure. And what a,
Thank you, Scott.
he had just met me and the first thing he offers is a bath. I said, do I say? No, I'm kidding.
Nettie, did you?
I was just going to say that I have a note that you started YouTube in October of 2019.
It's been on the 21st of September was 9 months exactly.
Wow.
I mean, from the 21st of September till now was 9 months. 9 months, yes.
Wow.
But I didn't do it all myself. A lot of people knew me from Bob Wells. And even when he put out this recent last video, I gained thousands of subscribers from his video because people, they already knew me from his. So that's probably the big reason I grew so fast. However, I think all these people that shared me out and like Blue Wave and different people in this community are always shouting me out. So I know I already got to 1,600 before Bob put out his Bob Wells, before he put out the most recent video. So this community grew me, I should say.
But you actually grew yourself, Dee, because there's definitely a story there that everybody wants to know and hear about.
I just hope and pray I can keep sharing that. I would hope that I can keep finding content that would inspire people to know that they can do it, that they're not alone. This is my final words today, people. You're not alone. We have a whole community out here, and all you have to do is reach out. But you do have to reach out because people don't know that you need them. Reach out and let them know that you need their love. You don't need things. You need their love. We don't need things.
Right.
Things are all place of both. We need each other. You can do that. If I can keep doing that, that's my life goal. That's what I want in life, to encourage people to know that they're not alone, and there is hope.
That is a beautiful message.
Yes.
All right.
All right, I think that's going to wrap it up.
Yes, with that, we'd like to thank all of you for joining us tonight. We really hope that y'all had as much fun as we did tonight. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Box Van Dee, she was definitely a joy to have here, and we hope to see you each back here next week. Next week, our guests will be Mel and Nette with Living Free Ziplists. That's
Good.
fun. And as always, we want to hear from you. So if you have something to say, a topic, or a person you'd like to see us explore into, just email us or reach out to us on Instagram, because we'd like to talk with you live on Let's Talk About It Live. And from Mike and Theresa with Meant to Be RVing, we wish you peace and a good night.
From me, I wish you much kindness and much love.
Amen.
And from Nette,
Amen.
from MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless, we're sending love your way.
I wish you faith and hope.
Aw.
Bye, all.
Bye.